Shalom everyone and welcome to the Hampstead Garden Suburb Synagogue sermon for Parshat Toldot. It's almost a year since we breathed a communal and national sigh of relief when Jeremy Corbyn was not elected Prime Minister of this country. It was the 12th of December corresponding to the 14th of Kislev, which this year falls on the 29th and 30th of November. Now, after a short suspension, Jeremy Corbyn has now been reaccepted into the party after essentially saying that his claim that anti-Semitism was overstated, and so he's back. But the whip has not been restored. I want to say Yasher Koach to party leader, opposition leader, Sir Keir Starmer, for your courage and strong moral leadership. A year ago, we felt trapped in a no man's land, not sure what the future held for Anglo Jewry. I'm sure Jeremy Corbyn appreciates the British irony that he is now the one in no man's land. How long will he remain in that state of uncertainty? In this week's parasha, we read of a famine in the land of Canaan. Isaac and Rebekah head south to Philistia, to Gerar, to find food. Now, following in the footsteps of his father, he tells everyone that Rebekah is his sister, not his wife. Avimelech, the king, is a little suspicious, and he watches them by the window. Sure enough, one day he sees them holding hands, and he says, "No, you're fibbing. She's your wife. But fear not. I will protect you. I will instruct all of the citizens of Gerar not to touch you, not to harm you. You will be okay here." Isaac and Rebekah settle down. He starts a well business. The name of the business was Well, Baruch Hashem. But after a while, just like any Jewish story in our history, sadly, the Philistines begin to accuse him of sponging off the economy. He's only successful because he is taking our money. And they expropriate his business and drive him out of town, back to Beersheba, back to Canaan. A short time later, Avimelech shows up with an entourage, knocks on Isaac's door, and he says, "Hello, my good friend Isaac, how are you?" Isaac says, "What are you doing here? You despise me. You drove me away." Avimelech says, No. I'm here to make a pact with you. I see that you are a man of God. You're blessed. You're successful. God shines upon you. I'm here to make a deal, a pact, a peace arrangement with you. After all, we didn't touch you. We didn't harm you. We let you exit in the great kavod, great honor and respect. Well, that's not exactly true, is it? He was driven out of town. He wasn't given any respect. Why does Isaac make a pact with Avimelech after the way he was treated? So I want to provide for you three answers provided by our sages. Number one, according to Nachmanides, what Avimelech was referring to was not the way he was sent out of town, but the way initially, Isaac was told, "We're not going to touch you. We realize that you told a white lie, yet we're still going to protect you." That we're asking for repayment right now, says Avimelech. Secondly, we have the Midrash. The Midrash gives us a parable of a lion that has a bone stuck in its throat. He says, "Can somebody help me get the bone out of my throat? I promise you, I will pay you great riches." And so an ostrich comes along, sticks his head down into the mouth of the lion, pulls out the bone, and says, "Here you go, your majesty. Now, where's my payment?" The lion chuckles. He says, "It's enough payment, the fact that I didn't bite your head off. That's what you should be happy about." This is what Avimelech says to Yitzchak. The fact that you got out of Gerar alive, you should be happy. You are fine. That's your payment. We didn't harm you. We let you be, and you should just be satisfied that that's the case. Third answer is given by Rabbeinu Bachai, who says, Ata Baruch Hashem. You are now the blessed of God. Look at you now in Beersheba, in Canaan. You're even more successful than you were back in Gerar. It was a hidden blessing. Yes, we drove you out, but if you had not been driven out by our people, you wouldn't have made it back to Canaan where God wanted you to be. This is your blessed place. Now let's make an agreement, a pact, a shalom, peace arrangement. I want to give a fourth answer. I believe that the reason Yitzchak, Isaac, makes an agreement with Avimelech is because he was satisfied with their effort. It wasn't like Avimelech just sent him a letter and said, come back, all is forgiven, I'd like to make a deal with you. No, he shows up with a full entourage. The Torah tells us, he shows up with a number of his friends to pay homage, to respect Isaac. And Isaac says, you know what? Clearly, he is here to show his remorse. He has changed his ways. He's mended his ways. And I'm going to accept him at face value. And I'm going to accept his essential apology. Friends, Jeremy Corbyn can't bring himself to say the S word, sorry. But even if that's the case, let him demonstrate his remorse in other ways. If he really felt sorry, he would lead the charge, just like Avimelech, who maybe didn't offer a verbal apology, but by his actions, by showing respect and honor, bringing this entourage to Isaac, he was showing that he was remorseful. If Jeremy Corbyn really felt sorry, he would push for IRA. He would tell all of his friends that the international definition of anti-Semitism is the definition that must be accepted. He would speak out against anti-Semitism in the party. He would support Sir Keir's campaign to root out anti-Semitism in the party. The fact that he's done none of these means that he's only trying to get back in for his own political purposes. He's the same old Corbyn. Nothing has changed, and he deserves only to be in no man's land. You see, in our relationships, it's not always about saying sorry. Sometimes the word sorry itself can be meaningless, but it's about taking concrete actions to demonstrate remorse. None of us is perfect in what we say or do. We all have little missteps that we make, whether it's with our spouse, our parents, our children, our siblings, your colleagues or your friends. But when you apologize, make sure they feel that you truly mean it. How? By taking concrete actions to demonstrate that you're prepared to mend the relationship. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you do. It's about going above and beyond to show that you have changed, that whatever you did to upset them, you truly understand, and now you're going to be better in the relationship. May you always be the first in any dispute to reach out your hand in love and show that you have the humility to improve the situation and the relationship. Shabbat Shalom.